This episode is brought to you by Bellator's Publishing, bringing stories to the world that last forever. Anything you're struggling with?
There's just one thing that I'm struggling with these chapters. I can't picture the Graven, this creature the Fisher was talking about. So Fisher described it as a half satyr, half troll with a little bit of basilisk. But a satyr is a half human, half goat. So which half is the part of the Graven?
Because then it's just half troll, half goat, or half human, half troll, or a vertical.
But then how you attach the basilisk part, and
it's a tail. So the basilisk thing has got to be a tail, unless...
Hello and welcome to Faithfully Fantasy,
the husband and wife podcast talking all things Brimstone.
I'm JC.
And I'm Sean.
And today we'll continue with our read-along of Brimstone from chapters 32 to chapters 43. And just heads up, we might use strong language and explore adult themes. And if you notice already, my voice is not the best of the world, so apologize for all that.
It's not the sound quality. You're not feeling great.
It sounds a little bit like Vecna voice.
Yeah. You're channeling your inner Vecna. But you can rest easy that there will be no spoilers from beyond chapter 43 of Brimstone because we have not read that far yet. Consider us your buddy readers. And before we start, a quick reminder, if you love our content and want even more, plus early access to episodes, monthly bonus content, and a completely ad-free experience, you can become one of our supporters. You can try it free now. For the best deal, visit faithfullyfantasy.com or just subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts for instant access. Also, if you're enjoying the show, please take a second to rate us wherever you listen. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all of it helps more fantasy lovers find us, and it's one of the easiest ways to support what we do. A quick tap and you've made our day.
So, without further ado, let's dive into...
Wait, what just happened? So Tal is busy throwing his own very naked, very exclusive party when he drops the news to Saeris that she's locked in for the Even Light Festival. No excuses, no escape, no refunds. We revisit the Amontreath Library, where those delicate paper birds decide to get violent, slicing Saeris with a paper cut before transforming into Adina's elusive book. Adina, if you recall, didn't want Fisher anywhere near it. She just wanted to see if Saeris would share, like a twisted trust exercise designed by the ghost of your mother-in-law. Terrifying. Back at the forge in Carlish, Archer is attacked by an infected feeder with war braids and renegade's armor. Cue dramatic, no! Anna, wait, what just happened? While Ren's ominous absence hangs over the estate. Then comes the tale of Finran and the Graven, featuring some questionable dating tactics and a missing toe. Romance, but grotesque enough to make you... Then comes the tale of Finran and the Graven, featuring some questionable dating tactics and a missing toe, and immediately launches into a sibling fight, accusing Saeris of treachery because they always had more water than their neighbours. In reality, she was wading through the ward's sewage to get it. But hey, why let facts ruin a good family feud? The show must go on, and it's time for the vampire ball. Saeris is publicly rejected by her maker in the worst possible way, leaving her vomiting Tal's blood in front of everyone. Her popularity doesn't exactly improve when she chooses a wolf as the 5th Lord of Midnight. But all of that fades into irrelevance when Tal unleashes a full-scale vamp genocide, transforming the Hall of Tears into a horror scene Stephen King would have happily signed his name to. Saeris is left processing, which in fantasy speak is trauma plus denial, and meanwhile, Carrion shows off his affinity with plants, coaxing a non-flowering specimen into bloom, while Onyx is discovered casually hanging out in Carrion's wardrobe, like it's the coziest Airbnb in town. The ground shakes and reinforcements arrive in the form of 10,000 warriors of Irin, led by Lloreth of the Broken Spires. Just as the rot spreads faster than ever towards Carlish, the Hazrax comes to Saeris' aid, gifting her a rune, strike that, she basically gets its real name tattooed on her skin. Let's hope that her next Hazrax doesn't get jealous and make her get a cover-up. After a bout of witch torture, Fisher's home is evacuated. Carrion, our new scholar, chooses to save the books over the treasure because priorities. And just as they pass through the gate, Fisher hears an ominous voice. Hello, dog. Curtain drop.
What a way to finish this episode.
I know, we couldn't have picked a better cliffhanger, could we?
Yes.
Although,
that was just perfect.
Yeah. We think it's pretty obvious who it is, so we'll just have to see.
Well, I
We've
guess
said
you
that
never
before.
know. Yeah.
We said we thought it was pretty obvious that Foley was the Shadow Cat.
Yes.
Anyway, and on that note, let's move on to Confirmed, Cursed, or Completely Unhinged, the new part of the show where we either get to bank those bragging rights or have a good laugh at ourselves for being way too wild with our previous theories. So what do we have today? You got one really right last week.
Yes, so as said before, the stargazers, it will be part of that book. That's going to be really important for Saeris to understand all the alchemist power that she has. And yes, that happens in these chapters.
Yeah, just a few chapters later. Yeah.
Yes.
Well done.
Happy with that one.
No,
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Your hands are freezing. You need to use this hot water bottle.
Thank you. It will help with everything.
Yeah.
The cold that I have.
Yes. Carrion's powers. So we did not predict those, although we totally could have done.
I'm still not sure about it. Like, is actually a power something else?
It's only one of them. Yeah, it's definitely his power.
Yeah.
When he talks, the flowers bloom. And that's why it grew at the war camp. And that was obviously just the start of his magic. And I wonder if the reason he took it was because he saw it grow in front of his eyes and he was like, wait, that's weird. And then I did get it just when Archer got attacked by the feeder. So he obviously went against the wall and Adina's favourite flowers would bloom there. I always wonder if she saw that happening. She saw him come back and she planted those flowers. And she would go and tend to them because she knew that they'd be needed for him to realise his power.
That was his power.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I'm overthinking it. It wouldn't be the first time, but we could have guessed that. I still think he can read minds or has some kind of seeing. There's something else. He's got two parents that were incredibly powerful, so I think we can expect another power from him anyway. The other one is we get a lot more. We find out who Iseabail is this time, and in the previous season, we predicted that Lloreth would hook up with Iseabail. I don't think that's going to happen now after this week.
It's not looking very well, to be honest. But hey, this story is about enemies to lovers, so...
Yeah, the ultimate enemies to lovers. So, after all the things we got wrong, let's talk about how we feel about the book and move on to screaming, crying, throwing god swords. So how are you feeling this week about Brimstone?
I feel a little bit confused about everything that's going on here. If you ask me what is going to happen next, or you ask me like, where's the plot going? I'm totally blank. I don't know where this is going.
That's a shame because there is a section of our show later on where I will ask you exactly what you think is going to happen next.
There's a couple of things, like maybe thing that I could say happened to the characters, but what is the plot wise? I have no clue because all the stuff that happened here, I didn't see them coming, and I now it's like, okay, now what is going to happen next?
Yeah, I agree with you. It does feel like every single fantasy idea has been thrown into this book. This book is pretty insane. There's so much going on, and I know that there's so much more to come. I am still I'm becoming completely addicted. I can't wait to read on. I am so proud of myself for not cheating and just reading the whole thing.
Yes.
I'm going to do that tomorrow.
Yes, when we're done with this episode, straight away, start reading.
Yeah, so who's your favourite character this week?
There was a few moments that I wasn't completely sure who to pick, but I think I definitely go with Adina because I think she did like a great comeback, even if I just as a book guiding Saeris, make her like feel this awkward, telling that she shouldn't show the book to Fisher, even when she knew that she would do that.
She needed her to.
Yes, so all that kind of stuff, all the guidance that's given to her, I think this makes all these chapters really powerful.
Yeah. So my favourite was Archer this week. There's so much to untangle with Archer.
Yeah.
I remember saying that I would riot if Callie Hart unalives Archer, and she almost did. I love the idea of the pyre below Carlish. Like, it was like Fisher's ancestors chose the location for that reason. And I'm not sure whether that's a good thing, though, because it's like, oh, look at this nice community of fire sprites. Let's build our massive mansion right on top of it, and they can be our servants. Felt a bit odd. But you know how a community builds itself around a lake or an ocean, and that's what it felt like with the fire sprites. I feel like the fire sprites' ancient home has been there long before Carlish has. I think ultimately the fact that they are there and that they refuse to leave at the end will mean that Carlish will be saved from the rot. And you might end up with a situation where you've got a load of rot, but Carlish is still standing and they can still use it because they can go there. The Brimstone has protected them. I'm worried for Archer, though.
It's too many things to think about it, because Carlish has been there for generations. So we can't even say there was maybe Edina's plan to put it there precisely to
no, I
protect
don't think it will
because
be.
She won't be there at that time. We're talking maybe about 3 generations before Fisher.
Yeah, and
it's
Finran's
father.
Yeah, so it wouldn't necessarily have an oracle in to know. So you think they put Carlish there to protect it?
Using the fire spreads for like a barrier against anything black magic or bad magic.
Yeah, possibly. And it could maybe link back to the tree that was mentioned again.
Yeah, there was a tree there. And
it just smacks of the god tree, doesn't it?
So, were there any oh my god moments or key talking points about everything that happened in these chapters?
Quite a few. So let's start maybe with the note in the book for Fisher. Adina basically confirming that they are on the right track. She says to Fisher, there's so many outcomes. You can choose your path, and I see multiple options for you. And that links back to what Zareth said in the garden at the end of Quicksilver. And she says, but I know your bond is strongest in the future, where Saeris tells you about this book and hands it to you. And she doesn't want him to read it. So she's just like, hand her back the book now. She's passed the test, basically. And it's really cool because this just totally links back to what Zareth said. And Zareth said, you end the world in most of the futures. The ones where I can't see the ending are the ones where your bond is strongest. So he has now bonded them because he was trying to get to that point. He can't see them anymore. The gods can't see them anymore. It says something like, the outcome is unclear, which means you have a chance in the futures where you fight at each other's side. And this is it. It's like they're on the right path, and it's just confirmation that it's all going to be okay.
Yeah, I remember a little bit with this Marvel movies when Doctor Strange was predicting all the outcomes possible, and there was just one from all of them when they're gonna win, but they don't know exactly in which one they are. They have to happen like a few things to make sure that they are in the right path to be in that one.
Yeah. So this is one of those things. This is a milestone on the route to knowing that they're on the right path.
Yeah.
Next thing I wanted to talk about was Foley being the new Lord of Midnight. Again, something we probably could have predicted.
I didn't, to be honest.
I mean, we didn't know anybody else.
Yeah, because he didn't look that interested in the vampires or be part of them.
Yeah, but...
So you would never because it felt there was Sarah, the one who had to choose from the one they had to give them. So I thought that she might go for the one who featured her there. He used to be one of his soldiers.
Yeah, but she'd banned warfare, so the Lord of War would not be a great...
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be quite an easy job in a place
Yeah,
that's banned
for
war.
me, it was totally surprised when Foley was going there. I was like, oh.
She sent for him, didn't she?
Yeah.
She sent for him. And I think if we'd have paid more attention maybe in the last chapter last week, where Kingfisher puts his blood on the table, and then you can see the breakthrough, you can see that he's having a change of heart, then we probably could have predicted it. I don't know who else it could have been.
Yeah.
But yeah. I also wondered what he might be the Lord of.
Yeah, he didn't say that.
I think he's going to be Foley, Lord of Pity Parties.
Yeah. Yes, a lot of the golden smile.
Yeah. Well, he's not technically going to be a lord anymore, is he? Because the blood court has fallen.
He's still a vampire. Sarah's still a vampire. Is she still the queen? I guess she's still the queen of Sanazroth.
She's still the queen of Sanazroth, yeah. But I think they're going to rebuild the court, aren't they?
Yeah, now it has to be Faye.
Yeah, Fisher says that he's going to allow her to go back, although he doesn't say that. She says, "You're going to allow me to go back," and he's like, "I don't allow you to do anything. You just do what you want anyway."
True.
The biggest oh my gods moment was Taladeus the terrorist, working with Iseabail. He didn't necessarily know about the dark magic, but Iseabail using dark magic when she shouldn't. I mean, nobody should. But the tattoo on Taladeus's chest, essentially just blowing everybody up. Well, It wasn't blowing everyone up, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that was another thing that I didn't see coming, because the vampires, they were like such an important thing in all the story. And then when I start to see that either they die or they just turn back to Faye, or like, oh, so that's it? All the vampires are gone?
Well, yeah, I think that was his plan all along, though, because if you think about Foley, he disconnected his blood from Foley anyway. So I wonder when that happened and whether, if it was recently. I don't think it was. I think Taladeus must have just regretted his decision from the day that he realised that Zavina was not the woman that he thought she was.
Yes. Obviously, he never tried something like that before. First, because Malcolm was there, and second, because probably there wasn't a way to do it until Iseabail came with this antidote and the, how you call it, poison as well for the vampires. So I didn't see that coming, neither that he tried to kill himself as well.
Yeah. So the Hazrax didn't see it coming, which is interesting. And especially because I have a theory about the Hazrax. I also think the fact that Adina didn't put it in the book beforehand, she didn't give her any warning of it, but she knew about it because she then told her not to take the antidote.
Yes.
So she obviously didn't want her to have any pre-warning before she went in.
Yeah, like I said, was something that I didn't see coming, and after this, I don't know what's gonna be the main thing of the story. Obviously, the route is still there, but is gonna be now focused on that, or this is going to give now pass to everyone thinking that the vampires are gone, we are good, and then maybe the OG of the vampires is coming back, and it's gonna be again a threat.
Yeah, so we always said that we thought the first book, Malcolm was the villain. The second book, Bellicon would be the villain. The third book, Madra would be the villain. Or we weren't sure. It could be the second book that Madra was the villain and the third book that Bellicon was the villain. And I think that's where it's going, really. I think that Bellicon is going to be the villain of this one. Madra seems pretty absent. They talk about her a little bit. She's done Saeris a dirty, hasn't she? Which fuels the sibling fire. So the next oh my gods moment is obviously the feeder attacking Archer. We've talked a little bit about this already, but Archer protecting them, and it turned out that Brimstone was the answer to the rot all along.
Yeah. I honestly thought the Archie would die in this moment. I thought it was going to be another, I don't know.
Dobby the house. Oh,
yeah, I was about to say spoiler alert. But come on, if you haven't seen Harry Potter or you haven't know the story at this point.
I know, yeah.
You're not
Can't
going to
get
read
angry.
it anymore.
Can't get angry with spoilers about a book that's been out 20 plus years.
Yes, but I thought, yes, he's going to die here and it's going to be terrible. But then I was just like, oh, Kalihar, obviously she's doing it to, hurt you. And then
she doesn't actually like making readers cry. She said that.
No, that's what she said. But then when I was reading this, I was liar.
Liar.
Yes. But then a few chapters later, you see the Archer is fine. That he's not going to die. He's just recovering. I was like, oh, so he's not gonna die. I feel like, come on, Kalihar. That's not credible.
He's not gonna die yet.
Yes, but I'm glad he's still alive, and I really enjoyed that part when he was just showing to Fisher and Sarah that he's fine, and he was with
just a little dance,
like a little dance, and like moving the hips. For me, it was like a Shakira style moment, so it was really good.
The hips don't lie.
Yes,
he's fine.
And the funny part as well is he was doing this like funny dance, and then he stops, and then Cyril said he's 1 inch taller as well.
Yeah, he's like, I'm 1 inch taller because they gave me more brimstone.
Yeah.
So the way that it works is that they don't breed. They each give a bit of their brimstone to create a new generation of fire sprites. It's lovely, but they're dying out. And Carrion is the one that explains that they're dying out. He doesn't explain that he's confused about the fact that they don't procreate in the normal way, but he's explaining it, and that's because he's learning about his people, because the fire sprites are his people. And I think that Archer is the one that made him see that in the first place. I love Archer. I will riot.
Yeah.
The Hazrax made a return, and we start to see what the Hazrax's magic can do. Saeris is only the third person that it has ever broken its silence to. So obviously Saeris, Malcolm, who was the other one?
Has to be somebody that was 1 millennium like beyond all of this happening. Because if I were going in that kind of generation, he said she's the third in a millennium. I mean, they were talking about a millennium ago.
I wonder, just hear me out here, because I know that we're not in the theory section, but this has just come to me. I wonder if it was Adina, and the Hazrax helped Adina get the book in the library.
It could be, because that's another question, how she managed to put the book there. And the Hazrax did a comment as well that he has seen the future of Saeris through their eyes or her oracle. So he's talking about Adina. So it's a connection there.
Interesting. We've been married for too long. Not too long.
Oh, thanks.
Not too long. Never too long.
I was never meant to love a human. But then I saw her. I wasn't supposed to touch that fruit, but I took it and I ate it. I was the most loyal of angels until I lost her. Now they call me the devil, and I'll burn heaven itself before I lose her again.
Memoirs of Iseabail, a dark fantasy novel. Book 1 of the Iseabail saga. Now available on Amazon.
So, should we talk a little bit about the magic? So, it gifted her its name, although it's blasphemy to say it out loud. Allows her to undo or break, and that is what saved Taladeus. So, she undid the curse that was on him, and he became Fae. That is a massive piece of magic. The other thing he gifts her is a bit of a grounding rod, an internal magic grounding rod, which means that until she learns how to seal the runes, the other ones are not going to cause her any damage. She is so rude to the Hazrax.
And considering that all of that was for free.
Yeah.
He said that there's no debt about it.
And the whole thing ruined its life, ruined its plans.
Yes.
So I just feel like Saeris she is just generally quite rude, isn't she?
Yeah. It's funny when the Hazrax said she is like a little thing with no manners at all. Or
Yeah.
something like this. Because instead to say hello or something, like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, it's a marker for like how tough she's had to be growing up in the third and looking after Hayden, but still,
Yeah.
she's just a bit rude. She said, I don't want to talk to you. Go away. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Like, well, actually, I just saved your friend. Despite the fact that he's ruined my plans.
And then it's like, why? What you want me to do? Like, give you a, I say thank you.
Yeah,
Or,
say thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I like Saeris as an FMC, but she can be really rude, unnecessarily rude. There was another time, like, was it the seamstress? She was a bit rude to the seamstress as well this week when she was being measured up.
Yes. When she didn't want to do anything, and then she was like, no, don't bother to do this. And no, I have to do it because my reputation, everything is in my work. But yeah, she's just rude. Okay. Is there anything you're struggling with?
So not really. I'm still seeing some potential plot holes that I will ask questions about in the next section.
Yes.
And you can tell me if I'm missing anything. I am really enjoying the story. And as I've said before, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Anything you're struggling with?
There's just one thing that I'm struggling with this chapter, and it's that I can't picture the Graven. This creature the Fisher was talking about, they struck a deal with his father to get like a love potion. So Fisher described it as a half satyr, half troll with a little bit of basilisk. And I was thinking like, yeah, but a satyr is a half human, half goat. So which half is the part of the Graven?
Because then it's just half troll, half goat, or half human, half troll, or a vertical.
But then how you attach the basilisk part, and it's like...
It's a tail. So the basilisk thing has got to be a tail, unless the basilisk element is just the fact that it's a hen's egg hatched under a toad, which is how a basilisk, according to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, that's how a basilisk is hatched.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got the feeling that whole thing was just made up by Fisher. If he couldn't lie, if I didn't know that he couldn't lie, I would honestly think he was just taking the piss.
Well, that's maybe what Archer told him about the story, and so he's just passing the story.
He just believes it.
Yeah, but even Sarah said that I can't picture.
Are you saying
that,
Archer's a bullshit artist? Is that
he
what
must just telling like a story to make sleep or something. He thought that was a really nice one.
Yeah, because I struggled with the whole thing actually, because the fact I have complicated feelings about, well, they're not complicated at all. They're quite simple feelings about love potions. Mm-hmm. It's a bit grapey, isn't it?
I don't know, because when you're in love with somebody, you start to do nice things for this person, so you can like generate that love. So this love potion is like getting all the stuff that you could do to make this person to love you in one thing. It's
not real.
Mm-hmm.
One, it's not real, and it's like forcing someone to fall in love with you when they wouldn't have done already. I mean, obviously, Adina would have done because she did, but the fact that Finn, I keep trying to say Fen. Another shadow daddy's daddy. Yeah, I keep thinking that, I'm a bit disappointed in Finran.
Well, he was young, apparently, and he wasn't not confident with the ladies, so he thought that he might need it.
Well, he wouldn't do it again, would he, after he lost his toe? Yeah, yes. I can't get behind men that feel the need to resort to love potions.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Well, according in this round, that is not a thing. It's not like, for example, in Harry Potter, the love potion actually exists and
Yeah, it
works.
does work. Well, it's not a love potion, is it? It's like an obsession. It causes an obsession.
Mhm.
You can't bottle love, and don't get me started. It's definitely not a love potion. And I think that's the thing. Like most of these stories where there is a love potion, it's not real love, is it? It's just obsession that it's creating.
Yes.
So do you have any questions?
Oh, yes. I had a few of them. And the first one that comes to my mind is about Carrion, because he's been like putting stuff about Evelian, about the throne. So he's been researching, but at the same time, he is just saying constantly that he's not interested about, getting the throne, or he doesn't even feel that he has the right to do something about it. So I just wonder, like, exactly what is going on in his head right now.
So I think this is quite clear. I think he was not interested. He wasn't researching the throne. He didn't want it. He wasn't going to do anything about it. Saeris said, "Why aren't you doing more about this?" When she went to see him, or when they were in the forge.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Why would I? I don't have any interest in doing this for a people that don't want me. They don't care about me." And then Archer says, "You're wrong about that. The people do care about you, and they still raise their glasses to you, and they hope that one day you will come home and you will take your rightful place on the throne." Then from that moment on, he starts researching. He realizes, I think it's Archer that's responsible for that. I think that Saeris' little pep talk and Archer is a real change in his perspective. And I think from this point on, this is where we see Dianthus. We see Carrion Dianthus. He's no longer Carrion Swift.
Yes.
I think we're going to get a lot of character growth in the next few chapters before the end of the book. I don't know if we'll see him on the throne before the end of the book, but I think the end of this book will mean the end of Belicon. And then the third book will be king of Evelia.
Well, if what we're thinking is that this book is going to be all about Belicon, and he will die for real this time. So that means that for the next book, it's going to be a little bit similar to what happened with Saeris and Malcolm. But this time it's going to be, once Belicon is dead, then the rightful king has to rise to the throne, and that's going to be Carrion. So I don't see it happening in this book, but I mean, this book is going so quick and so like unexpected.
We'll find out.
That maybe next chapter is going to be that.
I don't know. I wonder if, how Saeris ended Malcolm and then became queen.
Mm-hmm.
So she ended Malcolm and Quicksilver, became queen in Brimstone.
Yeah.
I wonder if Carrion will end Belicon in this one. And then in the next one, Salt. In Salt. Are we locking that in already? I mean, it's got to be, hasn't it?
Well, there were like three main
Quicksilver, Brimstone,
and
Salt.
Has to be Salt.
Yeah. It'd be really weird if it wasn't. Right. My first question then. Mm-hmm. What are the Null Blades? What could they be made of? Everyone hates them. They sap people's... I don't know, they make people feel really awful, don't they? It makes the feeder bigger when they throw it at the Wren-shaped, but not Wren, infected feeder.
Yes. So all of them say there's a really bad energy. It gives me the vibes that it's just pure black magic. So I wonder if maybe it's something related with the witches.
Yeah, but the witches don't like black magic. Iseabail does, though. Is she also working on that?
Yeah, maybe not her, but somebody or the clan, or when they start to see that, okay, we're going to get rid of the vampires, and now let's going to get rid of the fae.
Yeah.
So maybe
Null means nothingness, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So is it nothingness? Is it the opposite of love? Is it the opposite of it feels like a Dementor. We've had a lot of Harry Potter references in this episode, but it feels like a Dementor knife. Like it's sapping your soul away.
Yes. Well, everyone says that they just feel like that bad energy. They don't feel well.
It's like a Horcrux.
Yes. The interesting part is they're trying to use that to kill Saeris, but as a vampire. So I don't know if is something that has to be related to that, or obviously you can just kill a regular fae.
Yeah, I
with
wonder
that
if
too.
it like severs a god bond or something like that.
Yeah.
Something so bad.
I have another question about all these chapters, and the one that I have is about Edina, because in the end we found the book in the library of Amonthriad. How?
Yeah, well,
Because, yeah, we're saying that maybe it could be the
Hazrax.
Hazrax, but was it?
Yeah, we don't know. I had exactly the same question. I am not going to call plot hole on this straight away because we don't know how. And I there is a plausible explanation that the Hazrax helped Adina. I don't have any other ideas unless she just snuck in or unless she somehow enchanted the stargazers or told the stargazers, you need to go to Amontreus, and they just flew there. That's the other idea.
Yeah, the curious part for me is that at the beginning, when we start learning about these stargazers, they say they're magic, they have children as well, or they have like they can make more. So they actually can make more, or they were just like more pages that were appearing and they didn't even realize about it, like how it happened. Is that like forming one by one, or the whole book?
The other thing is that when she was looking at the individual pages, they were books about alchemy. They were textbooks about alchemy. They weren't predictions or notes. So what happened to those pages? Is she still going to be able to read those, or are they gone now? And my other question about the book is the letter to Kingfisher was written from today. It wasn't written in future language. And you know it was today because she said, I have had the privilege to watch you grow, and from the other side of the veil. So she is either writing that as herself before she died, having seen that all in the future in her visions, or she's found some way of writing that from spirit form. Yeah. I suspect it's the first one, and that she wrote it all those years ago, having had a vision that she would have seen him grow, knowing that she would still be tethered to life.
Yeah, for me it's more Nostradamus feeling. So she was having this vision, and then according with the vision, she started to write what is the note, and maybe writing that note that will change the next vision, because now they have that help and that change the whole thing, and then go to the next and then to the next.
Yeah.
So at some point, I guess she saw herself, or she saw how Fisher was reading that specific note, and then she can just see her son. Yeah,
and you can see that she obviously went to different places to be closer to the vision. She used to sit, Archer said she used to sit in the forge at Carlish, and she'd say she's just visiting a friend, but she would sit in the chair that wasn't Saeris's. So she would sit in the other one. So she was there in spirit, or she was, probably closer to that vision, so she would have seen it more clearly, having been in the location. Super interesting. I'm sure we're going to find out so much more. Okay, another thing on the book. Will there be a missing page? Because one of the stargazers escaped the library in the last set of chapters that we looked at and ended up in her pocket. I wonder if there's going to be a panic scene where she's like flipping the next page and it's not there and it doesn't make sense. And then she's going to remember that one page that was in her pocket. I don't know if it will still be in her pocket, but it was in her pocket.
Something that we were talking before about Carrion and his power to make the flowers bloom. Not sure about that as a power, because it doesn't feel there's such a like great power, like if you compare it maybe with Fisher's shadows, or I don't know, Ren's light balls. So if he's going to have like a superpower, I don't know, thinking about Isabella from Encanto from Disney, that she's just controlling nature and make like things grow really quick and use it kind of as like a weapon or as a tool. But honestly, give me all the water as a nymph. They go through like the forest, making plants grow and that kind of stuff, but not like a proper fae.
Yeah, but Carrion doesn't need a power that's going to be exceptional in war because he is the king that's going to rebuild Avelia. And if you think about the rot, what do you need to recover from that? You need plants and you need life and you need greenery, and he is the only one that's going to be capable of bringing life back to the rot.
In considering that happens when he talks, obviously he's the perfect candidate for that because he never stops talking.
Oh, I just got goosebumps as well, because can you imagine the speech when he becomes king and he's like, there will be no more rot in Avelia and all the plants are like growing back, because he's doing this big powerful speech on the steps of the Winter Palace. All the
And the same when the rod was growing, it would be flowering.
That's exactly what he needs. And the thing is, we don't know what powers his mum had. I think we find out, his dad has fire. But Carrion doesn't need that. Carrion needs something that's going to bring life back.
Yeah, something to rebuild his kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just now, I've got goosebumps for Carrion's coronation speech.
Yes.
Another question. So, like a total 180 at the party. This is my first question. That is like, is this a plot hole? Is this a poor editing choice? You can try and convince me otherwise.
Okay.
I've got one maybe explanation. Why on earth was it a silver bucket that Saeris was vomiting into when Tal publicly renounced their connection or revoked their blood bond? I just can't see the party planner allowing a silver bucket within 100-mile radius of that place. Silver is a death sentence to vampires. My only possible, I could forgive it, and I forgive it because obviously I forgive these things. I love the book. But is that she was talking about the colour of it.
Yes.
But it's an alchemist. She's an alchemist. She wouldn't say silver if it wasn't silver.
Has to be the only explanation, because if it's something that is made with silver, first, silver is not that abundant in this realm. That was like the main reason to go to...
yeah, they had to go all the way to Silvarin for silver.
Get more silver, yes.
But who knew there was just a bucket lying around, silver bucket lying around in the Hall of Tears?
Yes. But even if they're talking about the color, it feels weird.
It's just a bit...
say it like that, because it makes you think that it's made of silver, not that
it's a bit of a, like...
color.
It's a bit lax, isn't it? It's kind of like in a book where metal is so important.
Yeah, it shouldn't be any reference unless there's something.
Yeah, it was Kingfisher's POV. And most people are going to just be like, oh, get over it. It's just a silver bucket. And I will get over it.
Maybe
over it.
Later on, there will be an explanation there. We just noticed something, and now later on, they will say something about a special bucket.
Yeah, they obviously don't have plastic, though, at this time.
Has
no
to
plastic buckets.
Has to be maybe like silver to contain the blood of him, or to kill the blood or something. There maybe was something on the ritual.
Yeah, but who carried it? It had to be Kingfisher, but he didn't know anything about it. One of the Fae. One of the.
It was already there, isn't it?
Maybe it could be that. Maybe it could be that you need silver to
contain the blood.
Maybe.
I don't know.
That could be something.
There was no proper explanation there. The bucket has.
Yeah, it was a throwaway line, but it didn't get past me. I was like, not sure about that.
And talking about that scene as well, when the Hazrax said that everything was ruined, when Taladeas did all this vamp genocide, they said that all of that ruined the stuff for him. Like, why? It's because he need to be with the vampires just to be there and watching everything they're doing. Why is being ruined?
Why did it ruin his plans? Maybe he just was comfortable there. Maybe he just liked the place.
Maybe the vampires are like a really important thing for the Hazrax, but it feels weird because he's a reader. He likes to learn stuff. While he was learning, where he spent most of the time in the
Hall of Tears. There's so many questions about the Hazrax. I love the Hazrax. It actually made me feel a bit less warm towards our main FMC, who actually is one of my favourites in any book I've read. And I was feeling like, stop being so mean to the Hazrax. I was defending the Hazrax.
Yes,
I really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another potential mistake? Question mark?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't found a reason for this one. Zavina is the Lord of Missives.
Mm-hmm.
But we're in the Hall of Tears when at the Festival of Even Light, Zavina gets mouthy again because she's Zavina and she's I'm going to say she's ruder than Saeris, and that's quite a low bar.
Yeah, she's Danya on steroids.
Yeah, she's Danya on steroids. She gets pinned to the floor with a candlestick that's on the table because Saeris is not having any of it. She's absolutely done with Zavina. She says the Lord of Revels. Mm-hmm. So Saeris in a monologue, in a narration, calls Zavina the Lord of Revels.
Yeah.
And I got confused because I was like, wait, she's the Lord of Missives. Is she the Lord of Missives and Revels? And what? Just what?
It doesn't say there's a logical explanation for that. No, she was thinking taking the title and now that it's going to be the new one or anything like that. I just feel that it's just...
Maybe it's a bit of an editing error, that one.
Yeah.
Maybe she was going to be Lord of Revels at some point.
Yes.
I wonder if we can get any clues from that.
Yes, but I don't think it's part of the plot.
No. I mean, it doesn't matter. But just a question: if anybody knows why why she might be referred also to as the Lord of Revels, then add it to the comments because we might just be being stupid. It wouldn't be the first time. So another one. I'm sorry. This is just my questions. I just have so many questions. How was Tal able to plan what I'm calling an act of war? I think what he did, it was an act of terror. That is terrorism. Mm-hmm. You can talk about the greater good and all of this stuff, but that is ultimately what fuels terrorism, isn't it? When somebody believes that they need to end or cause terror by ending the lives of hundreds of people to make a political statement or a moral statement from a different point of view to those people that are in the room. And that is what Tal did. I wondered if Saeris commanding all of the High Bloods to not partake in any acts of war, why would that not stop Tal from doing that? Is it that this isn't actually an act of war? Are we talking just about attacking the Fae? And I know I'm overthinking this. I just wondered.
I will say that when Sarah says that she was talking specifically about the Fae, that nobody is going to send any more feathers to the Dark and the other side. I don't want any more actual words about it. And the devils and the details. So Taladeus.
Yeah, he'd have found a loophole.
Perfectly how to go through all this fine print, and I think,
and we know Saeris is bad at that.
Yeah,
I think that's right. Okay, another question, a much more broad one. Where is Ren? Is he in one of the dark spots? The dark spots being areas of Evelia or broader, or Gilaria, or places, or Arjun that Iseabail couldn't reach with her magic, or actually that no magic could reach. Where is Ren? Because I mean, the other thing is it was a suspicious reference to the fact that the infected feeder had war braids and renegade's armor, just like Ren. In fact, she thought it was Ren until she saw there was an infected feeder, and then later we find out Ren is missing. I don't think Callie Hart would give Ren such a death. I think he would be a hero. I think he would go out with a huge bang. Like he would save everyone else, and he would sacrifice himself. I just don't. I'm not going to let myself believe that he was the infected feeder.
I think even if it was Ren, Saeris will be able to recognize him even after a couple of days of being dead. So at least the factions will be enough to say, oh my God, it's Ren. But if she didn't say anything about it because she doesn't recognize the feeder.
I think Callie Hart wants us to think it was Ren because it's quite a good parallel to the scene in Quicksilver where Ren jumps over the wall while Saeris is in the forge and she's like surprised and scared and then he's like covered in blood. It's like a mirror of that scene. If it was Ren, he could jump over that wall. He'd know exactly where it was. He could have been doing it to try and warn them because he believed that he could control himself and that he was like, the rot is coming to Kalish and he's jumping over the wall to warn them all. I would have genuinely believed that had they captured the feeder and kept the feeder caged, but because the feeder died, I just don't think it's Ren because I don't think that death is fitting for such a warrior, such a main character.
Well, I think that at the end of this chapter, the one who says to Fisher, hello dog, is Bellicon, because so far he's the only one who says that to Fisher. Plus, it was Bellicon's voice when you listen in the audiobook as well. So I'm thinking that Bellicon somehow managed to capture Ren, and that is the reason that he's there to thread Fisher. That if he doesn't do something for him, like convince Sarah to swear loyalty to him, he will kill Ren.
Yeah, because I agree with you, and I think there was quite a lot of chat in the last episode about how actually they are all they have sworn an oath to Bellicon to do his bidding, basically.
Yes, the only problem that I have is that this happens outside of college, like the house at least. But I thought that Bellicon wasn't able to go inside. There was like protection there.
Yeah, he can't, but he would have captured him before he got to Ballard. So Ren was traveling around, wasn't he, warning the villagers?
No, but in the same way, Fisher is about to go into the shadow gate when this voice comes and say, hello, dog.
I think it's when he exits.
It's on the other side.
Yeah. I just have a feeling that they're not actually there. I have a feeling that...
They were in the White Cliffs, or they're going to the White Cliffs. I thought when I was reading it was he was about to go in when he heard the voice. Yeah,
maybe. I wonder if that maybe they accidentally went somewhere else. Is that possible to accidentally go somewhere else?
It's a shadow gate, so Fisher is the one who's controlling it.
Yeah,
maybe there's another kind of
Or
magic.
Bellicon maybe somehow knew that they would go there and he was just hanging around.
Oh, he was in the White Cliffs waiting for them, and then everyone is captured.
Because it's quite, they're not at Kalish anymore, and it's quite easy to capture them. He doesn't even have to keep them prisoner. He just has to say, you're oath-bound to me, you will stay there. He just has to command them to stay.
Yeah.
And then that means it's all on Carrion and Saeris.
Yes.
And Iseabail, Telena, Maynard.
I don't know if a Foley nowadays a vampire is still attached to that.
Oh, wait. It depends when they did it, didn't it? So we have already gone into a few theories in that section. I don't think it's possible for us to not do that. But let's officially open the pages of the Oracle's notebook. This is the part of the show where we channel our inner eye as Mummy Kingfisher would and put our Oracle skills to the test in the hope that we get at least something right before the end of the book. The first one, they talk about there being another source of brimstone. So Danya and Kingfisher have an argument. She thinks that they should just use the sprites to stop the rot. Fisher is like, absolutely not. You are not a good leader if you basically throw your people to hell. So there's a fundamental kind of power struggle between Danya and Kingfisher. Lloreth says, we could just go and get the other source of brimstone. Well, I'm doubling down on the fact that other source of brimstone will be from the dragons.
Yeah.
Still think Saeris will be able to command them. Obviously, it's no coincidence that Saeris can has the power over the Brimstone. I'm still pretty confident that the source of the Brimstone will be the dragons.
I'm thinking the same. The other source they're talking about has to be the dragons. And obviously Fisher, he knows that it's really dangerous because we see in the Brimstone is from the dragon's mouth.
Yeah.
So they had to go inside the dragon's mouth together or something.
He lost Morel, he lost Foley. I know he's got Foley back, but he associates the fight with Omnam Shakrai. It's like really bad. But it does suggest that because in the Gate Part 2, Kingfisher POV chapter, it says that Omnam Shakrai was the last dragon, but it's quite clear that he's not the last. He wasn't the last dragon.
Maybe there were more eggs, and then when Omnam Shakrai died, after that, the dragons came.
Do you not remember my theory about the Knights of Erythian in the Argent?
Yeah, but then why Omnam Shakrai would be the last dragon if they had
the last free one?
Cages?
Well, I think they kept them.
Mm-hmm.
But then they maybe set them free. Maybe they were like learning to see if they could tame them or bond with them or something like that.
The other part that's curious for me is when Edina says to Saeris and the Nodes that it used to be first a lot of brimstone, and then obviously there's no more anymore. So it's just because
everyone killed the dragons and the fire sprites are dying out. So yeah, possibly. So I think the stargazer that left the library, which ended up in her pocket, will come back. I think we've talked about that already, so not much more to say about that. I think we need to be really worried about Algat as a witch when she doesn't have to take orders from Saeris. Kingfisher said as much. He said, you thought Algat was bad as a vampire. You don't even want to know what she could be like as a witch. She harnessed the dark magic. So Iseabail could be key here. There could be a big showdown between Algat and Iseabail. She's definitely going to come back. And she deserves the worst because she kicked Guru. Although Guru, I don't think she actually managed to kick Guru because Guru just, decided already. Right. Weird theory about the Hazrax. And I know it's not infallible, but I do have some interesting connections. So after chapter 42, I went away with the feeling that the Hazrax could be one of the fates. I just got those vibes when it came to talk to Saeris. There are some references to the fates smiling at people. And I found a couple, and I did a search on the Kindle of smiling, and there were references like, it felt like the fates were smiling down at me, or something like that. The Hazrax has a really big smile, and in that chapter, Saeris says the Hazrax smiled its terrifying smile, or something like that. It gives magic as an apology for what is to come, like it is personally responsible for it. Why would it be giving magic? Such a powerful magic as well. And it literally says, this is take it as an apology for what is to come. I know it's tenuous, but it's older than the gods. It says that earlier. Older than the gods. It wasn't expecting the attack from Tal, though, so I get that if it was the fates, how would it not have known that? Because they know everything. But I just feel like there obviously is still a fate because it's bending the boughs of the trees.
I don't know why, but I had a feeling that he is more like one of the gods. Maybe he is the first one, and that's why he says he's older than the gods, because he's the oldest. And he says as well that Saeris is about to find out who he actually is, or the name that has in the rune. And given this rune as well, given magic, is apologizing for something that is something to come, like Lloreth as well, the god of chaos, that he knows what is coming, he knows why he's doing the stuff that he's doing.
Yeah, but that would be a fate as well. So the gods, my number one argument against it being a god is that the gods shouldn't be able to see Saeris right now, let alone speak to her, because she is something never seen before. She is half vampire, half Fae. And I think that is why Adina is saying, don't drink the cure. Yeah, because you need to stay under the radar. Like you don't want any of the gods to be able to see you. So if that was the case, then Hazrax shouldn't be able to see her.
He is just maybe in the right place in the right moment, because if the other guys are looking for her, they won't see her. But he was all the time in the Hall of Tears. Maybe he was waiting for something. There was maybe some predictions about it. And then when Saeris arrives there as the new queen, then he knew that was.
Yeah, maybe.
Saeris.
But Saeris also says the ungodly figure. Like, I don't see it. Maybe we should make a bet.
I need to go back to Quicksilver when Evelyn is describing every single god and maybe find out if it's something they can relate it to the Hazrax and see.
We need to revise the gods.
Yes, that's why I need to see if maybe there's something about the smile.
It definitely says it's older than the gods. I just have a feeling it's like the creator itself, or like.
Well, the thing is that he was saying the power he has is like he's able to turn down one of the sounds or something like this, but the god of chaos, he just could wanna live and annihilate. And completely delete full realm. So that's just a god. So if this one is even more powerful than a god.
Yeah, but the gods can't. The gods can't control what the fates decide. That's why it's the smiling references and the we don't know. We don't know. It could be none of those things.
Yeah.
I'm leaning fate.
Yeah, and I had a feeling as well that maybe in the next 10 chapters that we're going to read, we're going to find more about who
do you think
the Haxraz is.
I'm getting worried that we're not. We're just not. I'm getting worried we're not going to find out.
We're going to end the book
with
not knowing nothing.
I don't think everything will be wrapped up. I think that's deliberate because we'll find out much more in the third one. Okay, bit of a left field theory, but there's so many mentions of hellcats, and they're from the outside of Zilfaran. I wonder if we'll meet one, possibly in the next book. If Madra's the chief villain of the next book, I think there's going to be some kind of showdown with hellcats. They just mentioned all the time.
Yes, or maybe the next demon is going to be like a cat shape or something.
Yeah, a hellcat, maybe. I still think there's something to do with the tree in the courtyard outside the forge at Carlish. In Quicksilver, it was described as dead. In Brimstone, it was called the live oak. So I had originally thought it was another universe tree, another realm tree.
Was the first attempt, they didn't work, and then they try with the next one. Yeah.
And then both Saeris and Foley still need to be vampires. Adina told them not to be the cure, so I was trying to think of why this was the case, and it only just came to me 3 minutes ago, approximately, that could be, at least Saeris's could be to still keep her invisible to the gods. Not sure about Foley. Did you have any thoughts about why Foley would need to be?
He would have more experience as a vampire than Saeris, so he will be able to maybe feel, smell other kind of maybe dangers from the vampire world. Maybe he will be able to notice, I don't know, Malcolm, for example, if he's coming back, or something that only a vampire will be able to tell. And because he is maybe the last vampire, a part of Saeris, is going to be really useful.
It does seem that vampires are more powerful because and they live for longer. So it could just be that. It could be that he's going to have a near-death experience, and the fact that he's a vampire is going to allow him to survive. Okay, so sticking with the theme of precognition, let's look at the chapters that we're going to cover next week. The last one. So we are actually going to finish the book. So that is chapters 44 to 53. 53 being a bonus chapter, apparently. So questions from the Quicksilver. This is the part of the show where we listen hard to the ethereal whispers of the Quicksilver and dig deep into our souls for the answer. So last week, we asked quite a sad one, really. If you had to give the Quicksilver one memory and you lose it forever, what would it be?
Well, I was thinking about it, and instead to choose for something really sad, I was choosing something maybe like delete the memory of one of my favorite plates of my favorite dishes. So then when I had to try it again, it's like having that first experience again.
It's like you could delete a book as well, delete the memory of reading a book.
Yes. Like imagine if you can do that with your favorite song, favorite movie, just want to wipe it and then have all the feeling, all the euphoria. Again.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a nice idea. So what would it be? What would be your favourite food that you would forget?
KFC.
KFC? Oh my goodness, that's insulting. Not sad.
Yeah, but happy I will be like trying fried chicken.
You'd have to try
First
Spanish
time,
KFC and not British KFC.
The wings are good here, like the same on the Spanish.
Like British KFC is like a 5 out of 10. Spanish KFC is like...
No, it's so good.
It's so much better. Yeah. Anyway.
What about you? What you choose?
So I wouldn't choose a sad memory either. I would probably choose an embarrassing memory. One that like haunts me. Yeah, I could share one. When I was at secondary school, I was having a sleepover with, I don't know if I've told you this. I was having a sleepover with my best friend at my best friend's house. And I was in maths, and a boy called James asked me, oh my God, if I say this out loud, will it go away forever? It won't, will it? Asked me if he could borrow a ruler. He's probably forgotten about this. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I had a 30 centimetre ruler, but I pulled out the ruler and my like clean underwear for the next day, his clean underwear for the next day, flew across the table in the maths class. And I was about 11. So imagine, it was mortifying because I just had my like overnight. It was a Friday night and I was going to sleep at my best friend's house. And we would have sleepovers like almost every weekend.
What was the reaction of the group?
I think I've blocked it out. And I just like scrambled across the table to get my pants off the table.
Well, good thing it was the clean ones.
I would get rid of that memory. Although it's like, obviously it doesn't bother me that much anymore, but at the time I was mortified. And I'm a redhead, so I go really bright red if I get embarrassed. And I've had loads of other things, like maybe some mistakes at work I would want to get rid. Maybe like even mistakes with friendships, because like if I've not been a great friend, like I would, but I've learned from that, so maybe not. Yeah, let's go with the like underwear flying across maths class.
Okay.
My teacher was really kind.
That's so funny.
You know, when you're trying to sleep and I can't get to sleep, sometimes my brain will be like, remember that time?
You're just feeling cringe.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, this week, Taladeus gives quite a choice to the members of the Blood Court. Drink the potion and die earlier as a fae, give up immortality and return to your original fae state, or die.
A vampire.
As a vampire. Yeah. And surprisingly, a lot of vampires chose to take the risk. If you had to choose between dying as a human at an old age or being reborn as a human that can live thousands of years in different circumstances, what would you choose?
Okay, hopefully that would make sense for all the people that are listening.
Yeah, maybe it's like, yeah, because it's a difficult choice, isn't it? Think about Carrion.
Yes, exactly.
And that's all for this week. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Faithfully Fantasy Pod. Come and join the conversation. We'd love to hear if you are reading along and if you are excited for the end, or if you finished, but we just don't want any spoilers yet. So if you've got thoughts, send them our way.
And with this, we had just one more thing to say. Thank you for listening to Faithfully Fantasy,
the husband and wife podcast talking all things Brimstone.
We'll see you next week for our read-along of chapters 44 to 53, and of course, for more Faithfully Fantasy.
Bye!